Hi, this is Chrissy Incognito, and welcome to another episode of my channel. Now, you might be wondering why I'm incognito. This is my alter ego that can say things that I cannot otherwise say unless I was incognito. So, thank you for returning. In order to understand more about this episode, please view the previous episode. Happy listening. Hi, and thank you for returning. So there's going to be miscellaneous episodes of information that I remember that I kind of feel is relevant to kind of put all the pieces together. So in one of the earlier episodes, I said it was the boys that were bullies in junior high. When I was editing the video, or we were editing the video here, and I was part of the process. Um, I started to remember, and I was like, how could I not remember? So there were two girls that became very problematic in junior high. So, yes, the boys teased, the boys would call me, ugly and big nose and stuff like that. The girls didn't really, but they offered another set of problems, which was they wanted to be physically aggressive. Now, I was used to that with my sister, right? Somebody who's volatile, who's explosive, who wants to be violent, I just stay away from because you're not going to get anywhere with them. I mean, so my best friend and I, that I referenced in previous videos. So obviously, in order to understand more about this video, you'd have to view probably several previous videos. Um, she started to become, and I really don't know how it happened, but she started to become friends with, so there were two bullies. There were Kelly and Julie. Okay. Now, I didn't like either one of them. And somehow my best friend started to become friends with Julie, who is the more problematic one, if we dissect it. And she didn't turn her against me. Julie didn't turn my best friend against me, but there started to become distancing. So now I feel like I'm against the world, right? At home with my sister, I have to deal with all the crap. At school with the boys, dealing with all the crap. Then with Eric, dealing with all the crap. And now these two little nimnods I have to deal with, right? And so Kelly was a bully. Now, as a little backstory, I did not know any of this until I became older, which made me more sympathetic to her. She came from a drug family. So the mother did drugs, the father did drugs, the brother did drugs. It was just a very volatile situation. And she had a lot of anger. Now, what was so funny, if you think about it, she was the same size as me. She was like barely 5 feet, barely 100 pounds, and she was the bully of the school. Everybody was petrified of her. Boys, girls, everything. Okay. So because we came from a very suburbia type, nobody was really used to this type of attitude, right? She had more of like an inner city attitude. And most people, like most kids, were just like either they were nice or they weren't, and everybody just went on. But she wanted to round up her minions, and these minions wanted to be a part of all of this bullying. So I tried to avoid her. Now, I was never on her radar because I just don't have anything to do with you. But so this was the thing. Julie started to be friend. Now Julie, okay, so let's back up. Julie was very ugly. But I also was very ugly, but she made it everybody's problem, right? I'm ugly. It's your problem. And now I'm going to take it out in you so I can feel better type of thing. Okay. She was not attractive in a way that just wouldn't have gotten better. But again, that's your problem. And so she befriended my best friend. And So in doing so, she sh Julie and Kelly were now invited into the safe circle, so to speak. Okay, and at this point, because I was dressing inappropriately, I was getting a lot of attention from boys our age. Well, she was getting no attention. Well, that's your problem, right? So she wanted to take me down. That was the thing. She wanted to possess my friends or whatever. She wanted to own my friend, take her away from me. And she also wanted to bring me down, however that was going to play out in her pea brain mind. And later on, later on in life, when we were adults, she's the same way. Kelly, on the other hand, has just been like a very quiet person trying to just get on with all the stuff that she had been through. So I'm very sympathetic to her. And I, like I said, I would have had, like in the Michael episode, I would have had a lot of rage if I was coming from a very volatile, explosive, unpredictable, unstable environment. But Julie, no, she was a brat. She was a brat that thought she deserved more than she got, like my sister. But that's another episode. So at some point, Julie and I started having all these classes with Julie, and so in which was worse, she saw all the attention I was getting from these kids, these boys, as I was a girl. So she saw all of that, which made her even more um, angry and bitter. And so she started to talk me up to Kelly. You got to get her. You got to get her. You got to. So now rumors around the school is Kelly, the bully that comes from a druggie situation, which again, it's suburbia. Nobody really comes from that. I mean, there might be hard times, but like nobody I knew was really dealing with that. Is like, you got to take her down. You got to take her down. You got to take her down. So I was avoiding it. I was like, no, like my sister wants to take me down every day and I'm getting out of it unscathed. I'm not going to like, why are we going to go through this charade? Okay. At some point, I could not get out of it. It was whatever class, I don't know, history class or whatever it was. And everybody is like, Kelly is outside and she's waiting for you. Now, I had dodged it. I had escaped it. I had, gotten around it. But now she's outside the classroom. And she's waiting for me. I don't know where these teachers are. It's kind of like when you watch sitcoms and you're like all of this is going on. Where are the teachers, right? Well, that's exactly how it was. I don't know where the teacher was, where anybody was, any adults were. So I realized I have to face this, right? This is not going to go away. And she wasn't a big person. She was my size. So I was like, now you're like, now I'm like, and again, I didn't know her backstory. I'm like, now you're pissing me off. My sister's pissing me off. Eric's pissing me off. You people are pissing me off. My parents are probably pissing me off I'm like, I have had it. So I go out in the hall. And of course, it's like, hit her, hit her, hit her, right? She comes at me and she pushes me. Well, now it's off. I take her down. I hit her. Not proud of it, but I'm just telling you what happened. I hit her. I got her down on the ground. She's trying to cover her head. I'm pounding her on the back until two teachers pulled us off. And when they pulled us off, she tried to swing at me. And then I was known for the rest of junior high as the person that took down the bully. I just thought, like, in my mind, even to this day, I'm like, you wouldn't leave me alone. You would not leave me alone. What else was I supposed to do? And that's what would happen with my sister when my sister would finally corner me and we would go at it. And then later on, she's like, you really hurt me. I was like, well, maybe, anyway. So that's sort of what happened, and then for the rest of, like, junior high, the bullies, and, Kelly's circle, because she had all of these people who were a lot bigger than both of us, so I don't know why she didn't send them to take care of her business, but, um, I mean, I look at that and I don't know what that poor girl had been through, but you know how many fights my sister had inflicted on me? Because again, from the other episode, she once she got a hold of me, she became violent, and there was no just slapping around. It became scratching, pulling, biting, everything. So I was used to that with my sister. I was used to. I mean, my sister was a lot bigger than me, a lot bigger than me, and not because she was older than me. She just was bigger. That's how she was. Where Kelly was like the same size as me, so I was used to sort of having to make my way out of these violent, you know, um, episodes. So I just went into with the same mind frame. I was like, this is like fighting my sister. And I just went at it. And I really did not think I would come out on top. Now, as an adult, it's just, it's um inappropriate for people to be fighting, but that's how it is, that's how it was, that's how it still is. So I would definitely say to somebody who is being bullied, like, avoid it at all costs. So that's what had happened with that particular episode.